Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. I literally just ended the episode and I'm starting this one, okay? So what's up? We're just gonna get back into the reading because I've got a lot of reading to do, it seems like. Your lordship, there is one other thing. A confidential matter on the utmost importance. Lady Theodora, your eternally esteemed predecessor brought the ship here to this system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything, and I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his wills in the Coronus Expanse. You know, I did come across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of this note, I presume. You're right. Yes, quite right. XC, Xavier Calvzone. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Henrix van Calox. An interrogator, you understand. All I know is that he is somewhere in the system, that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall in the Furry Boondis system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be quite difficult indeed, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, either in the Navis Noblite or the governor of Rykad Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon you must take up the reins of the Von Valentius Proctorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look as if he's trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems like he's about to offer you some words of encouragement. But... Adora, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Adara, the psyker suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For the brief moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you on a personal request, but it can wait. Speak with me when you have time, rogue trader. Idara's glazed eyes rove over those assembled. One word burst from her lips. Daybreak. We are gonna, like I said, so for those that don't know, we're doing a heretic run, okay? And usually at some point, either just tell Adara just to sit there. I killed her in my last playthrough. My playthrough that happened years ago when this game first came out. I killed her, okay? There was a scene, and I was like, nah, I'm good. She's not part of my main rotation. She's kaput, just blah, blah, gone. This one, I think I'm gonna have her in the party constantly. I think she's gonna be a very important character. Because I'm thinking we could corrupt her to chaos, you know? It's gonna be pretty good. Adara, come to your senses. Damn it! Adara presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future and it hit me so hard, my head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make it out what it is. No matter how hard I try, a single word is all I can make out. Daybreak? Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Palas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it all right. Lord Captain, if you want to take a close look at your future, find me on the bridge and we can talk. Lady Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you would benefit from them as well. The psyker's bitten lips stretched into a wry smile. Well, if there's nothing else left of value to report, I declare this briefing concluded. It is time to get to work. That was a lot of reading, I'm not gonna lie. There's more reading coming. The high factotum breaks away from the rest and approaches you, bowing repeatedly. Lord Captain, if I may steal just one more moment of your time. The matter is rather delicate as it concerns trophies that were left after the battle on your ship. One trophy in particular, I should say. I retrieved the blade fragment from one of the bodies on the bridge. A curious article. I saw the need to keep it safe in case it should be of interest to you. As he says this, the factotum's gaze slides away from yours, as if he looks somewhere off over your shoulder. Heretical, you were right. And to do so, give it to me. Of course, please. The factotum takes his time, but after a few moments, he withdraws a small, jagged shard that gleams with a pearlescent luster. The moment you touch the blade, you hear a satisfied whisper in your head. Now you know. You have taken the first step, but only the first. A long road stretches out before you, one studded with pearlescent stars. Nice. Okay. So, got a lot of reading to do, okay? As far as who we're going to talk to first, I'm going to talk to the companions, and then we are going to move to one of the actual places. Probably the prison world, I won't be honest. I'll talk to the master helmsman and stuff later, but I do want to give, like, I want to have some mix-up of combat and me reading, because there's a lot of reading in this game. I don't want to kill my voice, you know, that kind of probably suck. What up, Argento?
Rogue trader.
Oh, thank God. Sister Argento looks tired. There are dark circles in her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's on edge. You said you had a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
Okay, now the question is, can I corrupt the children? I can meet them. I can meet with them, no formalities. I can just not meet them and tell them, send them a message. I can say, why would I meet them? I'll have no part in this. What good would meeting me do?
These children are the future of your crew, and one day, they too will have to stand against evil and heresy as their parents did. By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphan's spirits, help them recover from their loss.
How bad can I bomb this speech is the question. Make arrangements for a meeting worthy of a rogue trader. I will address the orphans with a speech.
As you wish, rogue trader. Thank you for granting my request.
How bad can we bomb it, guys? We're gonna find out. These orphans are awfully, like, tall. I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting children. A group of adolescents, clearly dressed in their finest, freshly pressed clothes, form a straight line before you. Some stare at you with wide eyes like you're a mythical creature, while others huddle together in fear, looking away. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. He glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the Scola Progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. As you approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valancius. You notice Infernus Master Heinrich Montag standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with the approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Am I supposed to know who this guy is? Infernus Master, do you serve as a teacher in your spare? And you know what? Let's not call him. Do I call him out or do I not call him out? I'm gonna call him out. Not at all, your lordship. I'm just looking out for them. It's the Infernus way to help folks in trouble. It's our job, after all. So we chip in rations here and there and make sure nobody gives them a hard time. We take the older ones in the clan's care if they want. Many in the guilds are not our family by blood, but by circumstance. Okay, your parents gave their lives. That's too formal. This is very pompous. I like this one. We'll smile at them, guys. Your Lord Captain greet you, brave ones. A teenage keeps staring at you. A girl who has remained close to Argento smiles uncertainly. A skinny, pale lad tries to throw his shoulder back and stand at attention like a soldier. Only a few teenagers at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argentina quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotion flashes across her dark eyes, like she wants to both calm him and scold him for his imprudence. Nice. Nice. That's too nice. That's pretty good. That I really want to say. Let's do the Infernus Master, okay? Infernus Master, since you're so cared about the orphans, they are henceforth your clan, and it falls to you to teach them the meaning of what their parents fought and died for. Thank you, Lord Captain, for your trust. We won't waste it. The Inferni know all about taking pride in service, courage, and self-sacrifice. We'll make true heroes out of them for you. Emmerich beams at the orphans, and they smile back at him with unraptured devotion. Young ones, you won't recognize them in a year or two. They will learn how to speak, salute, and only when permitted by their superior officer. But right now, clowning around is all they know. Argento rubs her temples pensively. She smiles and offers a few words of encouragement and then leaves the boy. Oh, I should have scolded him. I should have been like, beat this man. That it? This guy was not here in my for last playthrough. I don't know who that guy is. Maybe he's part of like the DLC companion, maybe? I don't know. But he definitely wasn't there the first time. Definitely was not there. I don't remember. If he was, I do not remember him at all. We really get stuck on 95 quite a bit, guys. Okay. Oh. What up, Abelard?
Lord Captain.
He surveys you briskly but meticulously as though he's inspecting you for your shortcomings. Then he offers a courteous nod. Let's talk about things that may prove useful to me as rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Cronus Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official
I'm so happy
briefing,
this is what's
not a
happening.
casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words, the Cronus Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Fun.
Until recently, the Cronus Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Cronus Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Cronus Expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Cronus Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Coonrad, our previous master of whispers, what can you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he's gonna do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
I agree.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
That is all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
I must take my leave.
Lord Captain.
Okay, that gives me hope that maybe some more of their lines are actually voiced, and then we can, Alex, I think I read Argenta's. Hello, Adara. You wanted to speak to me? The tall, middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant, as she rubs the implants at her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Adara turns her head towards you and offers you a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. Adira, about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You're a psyker. Psykers are only granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Let's see. I don't like any of those. I'm not gonna say any of those.
Right you are, Lord Captain.
I'm just gonna stress her out for a bit.
Me, all right?
I'd like to hear your augury, Adara. What awaits me in my future?
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Adara laughs, rubs her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face, her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained. Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage
Okay, she's speaking of our companions that we're about to get.
He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion. A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. A chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord?
Interesting.
The glow of dawn bursts forth
But she
from
gives
its
a lot of
prison.
information.
Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it? I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in somehow, but for now...
Things are strained between you and Argenta, isn't that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Oh, wow. I must take my leave.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to ask them more of that dialogue, and I'll try to keep it so we don't have one episode that's all conversation, one episode that's stuff. So we're going to a prison world. Actually, do we have to go? I think it was. Okay, the events are set in this thing. Yeah. We go flying around. So, is that the prison? I think this is the prison. Yeah, that's the prison. Okay, let's fly to the prison. Lord Captain, astropathic choirmancer Zachary Weiss is asking you to speak you via a private channel. Who is this guy? Greetings, your lordship. I can report to you that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium in hope of picking up voices from the dynasty's ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving your choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any other dynasty worlds. It's coming from the Rycat system's astropathic station. I don't think we've been introduced. Indeed not, and we meet under lamentable circumstances. My name is Zachary Weiss, and I'm proud to be the choir master of your ship's astropathic choir. The duty I perform is to keep you in contact with the Expanse via astropathic messages sent through the warp by trained psychers. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your lord, but it has brought the Immaterium to a boil. It's always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who consider steeping in the waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together, twisting and crackling before crashing into the minds of all who perceive it. A mighty warp storm, the likes of which I cannot recall, it rages in the Imperium, and it fills me with terror. If the screams stop, will we be able to contact someone? I humbly hope so, your lordship. Perhaps we will manage to send aid to the Von Valentius worlds and one other dynasty's allies. We're going to pay that station a visit. Thank you, your lordship. The scream. That is new as well. Dude, we're just getting a bunch of new quests like I've not done. Choose a prison. This is our party, yeah. Rykadi Fila, the prison planetoid. I can't remember if this is one or another. There are a couple prison planets. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Also, look at our little ship with the little wings. Okay, bro. Some goods to sell.
Places such as this make me think of snow. Pure and untainted by human squalor. Under the frozen light of a star that illuminates everything. To the very depths of one's soul.
A
Pilot
revelation
rack
was sent to me.
Oh, trap. I was like, well, why do we pause? What's up, pilot? Affirmative. Escort. Everything is calm on my end. Vekari out. The young woman stares at you, adjusting her uniform nervously. Your lordship, 1,000 pardons if I addressed you improperly. Have you come on behalf of Governor Medin? Or are you here on other business? If it's the latter, you ought to know there's been a riot in the local prison. It's quite dangerous here. Oh, okay, so this is where the Inquisitor's at. Abelard, teach this riffraff the proper way of addressing her sovereign. Abelard glares at the woman, his brow furrowing. Officer, the person before you is Ignatius von Valentius, a rogue traitor. Although you are From what I gather, a subject of another dynasty, you do well to introduce yourself with proper decorum. Oh, at once, sir. The woman stands at attention. Captain Rakul Vakari, servant of House Winterskull, and the pilot of the shuttle. It is an honor to be greeting his lordship von Valentius. Tell me about the planetoid. The only settlement in Rykadi Philia is a penal colony. The prisoners work in the mines and the domed quarries. They mine sulfur, cerama dust, and sand, which is then melted down. A rather nondescript place, or so it was prior to these current events. What happened to you? There's been a riot on this planetoid. Sadly, it's being led by the warden himself, the Honorable Anathagon Castiglia. Dude, oh my god, he has allied himself with the rabble that he himself was supposed to watch and declared Rykadi Philia as independent of the authority of the system's lawful governor. I came here as a shuttle pilot alongside the Honorable Evaye Winterskull, son of Caligos Winterskull, rogue trader, vanquisher of Xenos, forever triumph over the enemies of humanity. She details, enunciating every word of her overlord's title. Your young lordship Winterskull wished to speak to the wardens personally. The honorable lord means to put an end to this lawless treason. He and his escort left to meet with some insurgents. You went to Rykadi Philia as soon as you could, while I was ordered to wait out there for their return. Evane. Abelard mutters, stroking his beard. One of his distant younger offsprings. Yes, that much I know about him, which means he hasn't distinguished himself in any meaningful way. Okay. Why would young Winterskull have felt the need to parley with the dissidents? It's a personal matter. Master Castgelia, the seditious warden, is Lord Evane's childhood friend. When my lord heard of the riot, the news saddened him greatly, so he rushed out here without delay in hopes of bringing his old friend to his senses, no doubt. The first Winterskull in my memory who prefers to talk rather than shoot and slash. She smiles slightly. You're quite right. Young Lord Winterskull is not his father's shadow. If he is determined to save his friends, he will try to do so no matter what obstacles get in his way. The warden is spearheading the riot? Yes. She bites her lip. No one expected this. Master is a nobleman from a respected governor house and a vassal to House Winterskull. All of a sudden, he proclaimed this thing was his own personal domain, that the prisoners were his subjects, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it they're looking forward to a diet of sand and gravel. What kind of madman would start a revolt on a barren rock? I'm looking for the Inquisitor, named Hendrix von Kallox. He is here, perhaps. Unless it's one of the prisoners or his guards, that seems unlikely. There are no shuttles in working order other than yours or mine, and there's nothing else that could reach this place. Is there anything else I should be apprised of before I set out? Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given this is the only way to do where the negotiations are taking place, I would expect heavy resistance. Please take caution, your lordship. Lord Winterskull's guards mined at the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to the shuttle. I have no more questions. Excuse yourself, pilot. She freezes a moment before asking hesitantly, your lordship, if I may have a minute of your time, I wouldn't have ever dared to trouble you with a personal matter. But in this situation, in any case, have you been to the capital yet? I just wanted to ask if you saw a man there, a communication officer by the name of Jaspar. I've not been to Rykad Minoris, and know nothing of this officer's fate. That's a shame, my emperor. Keep that a fool from harm. Thank you for your time. I don't dare delay you any further. Good luck, your lordship. I will contact Lord Evane's party over the Vox to inform you are coming. Okay. Whew, that's a lot of reading, guys. A lot of reading. Okay. The guard post here has been vacant for a long time. There's a layer of dust on every surface. Into the barracks. Oop. Okay.
Empyrean guides my gaze.
Abelard, I've been meaning to ask, how are you keeping it together so well? Don't you ever feel awful without her?
Enough, Tlas. We have a duty to the new rogue trader. You would do well to focus on that. If you keep your mind busy, you will have less opportunity to fill it with awful things.
That's Abelard. A long string of names extends beneath the headline, top quarry workers of the cycle. The remains of a meal, one far too lavish for even a hive world, let alone a prison
Unseen,
colony.
Uncover my path.
Okay, should say 8 before they went in.
Join me in prayer.
Okay, I think you're my
Pay attention.
trap disarming expert, so I'm gonna send you in here to disarm
Never
these.
doubt me. This task should have been accomplished easily.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to be taking damage, Argenta. That's not good. Now what do you got? If not removed with a med kit, it will turn into an old injury. Too many injuries can characters resolve and cause traumas.
I am
How many
at
med?
your
I don't have
service.
any med kits, dude. I have one med kit. These people just be killing themselves. Where's Argenta? Argenta,
Let's patch you up.
get back here.
Administration is a holy task.
Okay. Some goods. A note. Prison Diary of Atishan Part 1. Grok shit, why me? Why? I missed my tithe payment 12 years ago. 12 years. The inspector's writ got lost somewhere in the bowels of the planetary administratum and was lying there this whole time, but they made sure to remember to tack on the fines every month. By the time they found the blasted paper and finally informed me, the total sum was so obscene it would take 3 generations of my descendants, if I had any, to pay it off. My fate was sealed, trial sentence, prison, all because some daft rotter who shoved my paper in the wrong box. To be fair, I think I got off pretty easy. My bed was in the barracks. It's about as hard as the slab of concrete I got at home. Working in the quarry isn't much tougher than my old job, and the rules, boy take me, that old sod that governs Rykad Minoris is a bloody sadist in comparison. It's a strange, hold on, you have to read it, and here. There we go. It's a strange old place. I haven't been beaten once yet. The guards bark orders all the time, but they never hit us. They've also got this kind of inner circle of special chosen prisoners. The optimatum, they call it. If you can get in, the Emperor as my witness, you can actually get a day off. They let you out of your cell and into the yard with the big barracks. And I tell you what, they even let you rest there and feed you better than anything, whatever swill they're giving us in the canteen. They told me it's to improve our motivation, and all that to foster a stronger desire to reform and become a worthy servant of the Imperium once more. But I know it for what it is. It's just a club of Warden's favorites. The same story as everywhere else. Suck up to the people in power and get swanky perks. They say the whole thing was the Warden's idea. Funny man, our Warden. He looks more noble than nobility itself. Tall, groomed, teeth even, eyes burning, boots so pulsed you can see yourself when you move to lick them. But that nutter doesn't much want people licking his boots. He walks around looking like he's deep in thought, alright. With only a couple guards at his side, he sometimes, if you can believe it at all, talks to prisoners. What's your name? He asks them all quiet like. Why were you condemned? Do you feel remorse? He never even yells at no one. Never orders them to have them flogged. Instead, he doles rewards out to the special ones. Keeps telling us that's like how we should strive to make society believe us again. Whatever you say, Mr. Warden. Starting tomorrow, I'll be trying to join these optimates of yours. I'm stuck here till the day I die, and that means no return to society for me. But with the Emperor's help, I might just join the ranks of the social elite.
Embrace true power.
Types of prison for food, repulsive to the senses. Very no names, the best among us. The list is faded and the names are barely legible. Oh.
The absurdity of your struggle amuses
Well, guys,
me.
isn't this such a fun time? If you want to know what happens on the next episode, whether I win against the numerous, who are these people, guards and prisoners that just ran at us, be sure to check out next episode. At least next episode's gonna have probably a bunch of combat to kind of balance it out. Like I said, these episodes being 30 minutes means that sometimes we're gonna have an episode where it's just me reading, and then we're gonna have an episode where it's probably just me shooting people the whole time. And honestly, I have a good time. I enjoy the game, so hopefully, you know, if you enjoy the content, you have a good time. I'm gonna end the episode here. I'm gonna continue recording. That way I can build episodes out to Tuesday. I gotta record Wrath of the Righteous and a talking video, cover my bases. Oh, big stretch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. You're awesome. I'm gonna go continue recording, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.